Hello guys and welcome back for the September JRPG news roundup. We start with the Falcom news as always, and a thank you to Hansuke once again for his hard work. Starting with the Falcom merch on the Japanese side, so a proxy might be required here. Cospa are doing these Falcom branded messenger bags covering series like Dragon Slayer, East, Trails and the like for just under 4,000 yen, while Beep Shop are revisiting a blast from the past in a PC-88 release of East 3 Wanderers from East in both 3.5 and 5-inch floppy disk variants. They cost 9,700 yen each. Next up, we're following on from the Adol and Dana ones here, but apparently there is now an Altina Dakimakura in production releasing in early November. I like Altina a lot, not to the extent that I would get one of these though. The Kotobukiya figure of Risha has now gone up for pre-order, and naturally different retailers come with their own bonuses. If you order directly from Kotobukiya, you get an alternate faceplate as they did with Altina last year. You can also get it off other retailers like Nin Nin Game or Army Army. On the western front is Pinbox. Due to supply chain inflation, they are having to increase their prices unfortunately, but that's what I like about Pinbox, they're always transparent about that stuff. If you can justify the price increase though, there is a pre-order window up for 40th anniversary hoodies in a limited stock. Finally, we have information concerning the Trails anime due to start airing in 2023. The Northern War got a new promotional image followed closely by its first promotional teaser trailer, introducing some of the characters, both new and returning, and also what this story could be about. It's super interesting for a Trails fan as this is our first real look at the region of Northumbria. So far, it's looking good. On to the games now. We start with a milestone reached for the Trails series. It has now topped 7 million units sold worldwide as reported by Falcom themselves. The last milestone given was back in September 2020 when it had hit 5 million. Review scores have also started to go up for Trails from Zero, which of course has since released, and it's been performing well, many of the ratings being 8 out of 10 and up, and it's been getting plenty of coverage, so signs are looking positive. Finally, there was a bunch of issues concerning NIS America this month. The Zero Field were asked to take down their translations, the PS4 version of Zero is missing elements from the Switch and PC ports, and finally even the NIS America EU rep is supposedly hitting back at fans. This is all I will say on these though. Loads of fans are already aware of what happened and it just risks bringing up the drama again, which is not what I want, but I will at least mention it, such is a news roundup. For those who want to know more though, the links are there for you to check out. However, I will say this, if you're one of the idiots actively doxing employees of NIS America or even sending them death threats because of this and you're proud to do it, you're a straight up twat, and you need to sort yourself out. Rounding out the Falcom side of the news, we're going to be touching on Crimson Sin, so if you want to avoid spoilers, move to this timestamp. Crimson Sin is due out very soon, with Famitsu giving it a 33 out of 40. There was also mention that the game will not end on a cliffhanger, and that it will conclude this part of the story, along with updating the map of Calvard. There were more lore recaps, this time for Lapis, so if you haven't played Reverie, then it's not worth checking out as of yet, and as is the case with the release of information, there is surely a live stream to follow, and it just so happened to coincide with the Tokyo Game Show, which we will be talking about later on. We got more gameplay, S-Craft showcases, a performance from Sound Team JDK with its new members, and finally the opening movie for Crimson Sin itself, which looks brilliant. I'll probably give the game a go to test out Japanese knowledge and just see how it pans out regardless, but either way, I can appreciate how good it looks on the surface at least. Moving to the general JRPG news now, merch side first. Tales of Arise's soundtrack is now available on music streaming services. I know because I've added the opening to my own playlist. Also, to follow up from last month, there was an expansion on the first anniversary merchandise available via Asobi Store, like stands, trinkets, magnets of the characters, and exclusive illustrations for the event. It's a Fire Emblem now, and there are 2 1/7 scale figures courtesy of Good Smile for Fire Emblem The Binding Blade. They feature Lilina and the arguably more recognisable Roy. They cost a pretty penny, 30,000 yen each, with pre-orders closing on January the 18th, 2023, while shipping will begin in November and December of that same year if ordered from the US storefront. Atelier now, 2 of the announced figures from last month are now up for pre-order. The Everyday Me figure of Sophie is now available for 27,000 yen from Army Army and other retailers too, but note that prices may vary depending who you get it from. It releases in October 2023. There is also a limited edition variant from Kui directly going for 46,000 yen, which adds a dioramic background, a tapestry with Sophie replicating the pose, and a cushion. The Quest Q figure of Ryza is also up for pre-order due to ship in September 2023. It comes to 18,500 yen. And finally for Atelier, at least on the merch side, there was a special limited edition pack put up for pre-order in Japan for Atelier Ryza 1 and 2. It comes with a collector's box that houses all the games, more on that later, a light novel and microfiber cloth. You'll also get an exclusive bonus depending on what retailer you use. Atlus now, and on the merch side, they've done another 25th anniversary pin set following on from last month. You can buy it as a set or buy them separately. Unfortunately, some are already sold out, so bear that in mind. Odin Sphere actually got some love as well. The Vanillaware developed title now has a pre-order window open for a 1/7 scale figure of Gwendolyn for just under 44,000 yen. This has been made by Prismawing. Also, Western pre-orders are now open for the upcoming launch of Persona 5 Royal on Switch, PS5, Xbox and PC, plus there is a limited edition available for the console versions coming to $120 if you missed out on the PS4 release way back when. And rounding out the merch side of the things will be Square Enix. First of all, there was a merch roundup for all the goodies that were showcased at the Tokyo Game Show. Plushies, Figmas, Buster Sword rulers, there was a lot. A roundup of all the merchandise is in the description. Legend of Mana is getting a light novel due out on the 7th of October for you avid readers, though only in Japan at present. Star Ocean The Divine Forces soundtrack has gone up for pre-order. This releases in November 2022, around the same time as the game. In a similar vein, the soundtrack for Tactics Ogre Reborn has also gone up for pre-order on the Square Enix Japan storefront, due to release at the end of November. There's more Kingdom Hearts 20th anniversary merchandise, this time a clock that plays a different song at each hour along with lighting up that particular segment. It's not cheap either, $150, but novel if nothing else. There's a bunch of Nier Reincarnation merchandise that has gone up, like watches, wallets and backpacks due to release early next year. And finally, once again on Nier, the teaser trailers for the upcoming anime adaptation of Automata have gone up and it will start airing in January 2023. There was also information on the voice cast and a few key visuals. And now we flip the switch and we move over to the games, starting with Square this time. The Live Alive remake has sold 500,000 units worldwide as of this month. I dare say a lot of people have had the chance to try it out by now. I thought it was pretty good, a decent concept, especially when you consider the original came out nearly 30 years ago. Nier Reincarnation, the mobile game, is going to be having a collab with P5R from September the 9th to October the 13th, so it's currently still ongoing. It's gacha, so you probably have an idea what this entails, but you have a chance to get certain royal characters through this system. Strangers of Paradise is getting another DLC releasing on October the 26th called Wanderer of the Rift, following on from Trials of the Dragon King. And now some demos. The Harvestella demo is available on Switch and will be launching on November the 4th. As many demos offer as well, it will allow transfer of save data to the full release. Valkyrie Elysium is available to try on PS4 and PS5 and it has since released, plus it has been confirmed that the game will have multiple endings and will clock in at around 20 hours on average. And similarly, Star Ocean The Divine Force is also available for PS4, 5 and Xbox One and Series. We also got confirmation that the trailer's theme song Pandora will be performed by Japanese rock star Hyde, a pretty big name to get involved. If you are curious about these last two demos, I did an impressions video last week if you don't have the time to try them yourself. Eiyuden Chronicle Rising will be getting a physical version for PS4, 5 and Switch come January the 26th, 2023, and this is probably in aid of the upcoming release of 100 Heroes, which got a new gameplay trailer at the Tokyo Game Show. It was mostly the same as what we saw last month with a few additional tidbits, but I've mentioned before that I think this game looks amazing. I can't wait to see its release in 2023. Another title that got a new trailer was Armed Fantasia, the spiritual successor from the creators of Wild Arms. Last month they put up their Kickstarter with Penny Blood, which hit its initial goal within a day, and I believe it's hit several stretch goals since. This month though, we got a few AMAs from the developers and an environmental showcase too. To Atlus now, it's been confirmed that Persona 5 Royal will come with de novo on Steam. Of course, this is an infamous piece of software that allegedly causes performance issues and even has the potential of compromising security on a system, but developers use it as a means of preventing the piracy of their games. It effectively bloats the size of the executable and becomes resource intensive, which in a roundabout way means if you pirate the game, you're effectively getting a better version of the title despite using the same platform, or at least that's the idea. Not going to go into depth on this though, there's plenty of arguments for and against the use of de novo, and this is a JRPG channel. Last of all, if anyone was expecting a new Persona surprise at the Super Live Soundwish concert this year, Atlus have apparently shot that down, stating that it will be purely a concert and nothing more. Some people were excited though, because this concert was the stage for announcements in the past, but who knows, maybe they're just pulling the wool over our eyes. Back to Atelier now. First of all, Atelier Ryza 2 specifically is having a crossover event with Azure Lane. I mean, it sort of makes sense. Thick ships, thick girls, it comes together I guess, so if you're an Azure Lane and Ryza fan, good times. There was also a brief mention of an Atelier dating sim title in an interview with head of Gust Junzo Hosoi. He hasn't ruled it out and states it could be a possibility going forward. Oh dear. And finally for Atelier, in celebration of the 25th anniversary, there was a commemorative trailer that went over the entirety of the series' history, but also suggested that a new game was on the way. There's a spoiler for the upcoming releases section. And in the same vein of spoilers for the upcoming releases, there was also a renewal of the Suikoden trademark by Konami, who quite recently were teasing the return of a classic series. Alright then, upcoming releases time, and there was a lot this month. We had a Nintendo Direct, State of Play, and the TGS all in September, so I'm going to try and summarise everything, but bear with me if I do miss any, and note them in the comments if you feel they're worth a shout out. Initially, the delays. Monochrome Mobius has been delayed yet again to November the 17th, 2022, this time due to a wave of COVID-19 afflicting the development team. Here's hoping they get better soon. And the second delay this month concerns Valkyrie Profile Lennith, which of course was due to release alongside Valkyrie Elysium on PS4 and PS5. For quality reasons, the team have decided to hold this back till December the 22nd, 2022, which coincidentally is the same day the original released way back in 1999. On to the indie releases, of which there are only two Kickstarters that caught my eye this time around. One is called Paper Animal RPG. I mean, that's a hint that this is linked in some way to a plumber rhyming with Schmario, and the campaign will end soon. It's described as a real-time tile-based battle RPG coming to all major consoles and PC. The other one is for Guns and Darkness, the first official project by Shoji Meguro following his departure from Atlus-based projects. The Kickstarter has since launched with a target of $30,000 as an initial goal, and it will be coming to PC first, followed by console releases if stretch goals are met. It's noted as a strategy JRPG with turn-based combat combined with stealth elements. Next are the more niche titles, or the ones that I feel may have slipped under the radar considering all of the ones from larger developers this month. We start with Wizman's World Retry, which is a remaster of an RPG originally developed for the DS back in 2010. From the synopsis, it seems quite fluid in that progression results in changes to the map along with the traditional JRPG fundamentals that form the core gameplay. I'm not sure if this is getting a worldwide release though. Solvars, a turn-based deck-building RPG, is coming to Steam in early 2023. It's an enhanced port of the original mobile title from back in 2022. Ultra Kaiju Monster Rancher is launching for Switch on the 20th of October 2022. According to the synopsis, you raise the kaiju, train it, and join tournaments. The remake of Ruiner Fairy Tale of the Forgotten Ruins is coming to PC with no release date given as of yet. The original released way back in 2008 and formed a sort of choose-your-own-adventure archetype where decisions made by the player would lead to multiple scenarios. A title known as Souls of Kronos has been announced for PC via Steam and will release for consoles at a later date. A demo is also available. It apparently offers a classic JRPG experience with dialogue options, side quests, and action-centric gameplay. The fantasy detective action game Raincode, developed by alumni from the Danganronpa series, will be coming to Switch in spring 2023. Story of Seasons, A Wonderful Life will also be coming to Switch in 2023, which in of itself is a remake of the original Harvest Moon A Wonderful Life from way back in 2003. It's a farming sim come RPG, so you can guess what you're going to be doing, rearing animals and tending to your fields. Samurai Maiden now has a release date of December the 1st in Japan and 8th worldwide for PS4, 5, Switch and PC. The action RPG got a new gameplay trailer as a follow-up which took the form of a sort of Japanese history lesson, and the contents of that alone gave me an idea of what to expect from this. It's not taking itself seriously at all. The limited edition is also available to purchase for Japanese audiences. Trinity Trigger will be coming west courtesy of Xseed Games for PS4, 5 and Switch for early 2023. It's an action RPG with free-player co-op available and apparently attempts to capture the feeling of the 90s with simple yet gratifying gameplay. It's also being worked on by individuals who worked on the likes of Xenoblade Chronicles and Secret of Mana. The last niche title for this month is Loop 8 Summer of Gods, which is coming west courtesy once again of Xseed in spring 2023 for PS4, Xbox One, Switch and PC, following on from the Japanese announcement at the April Nintendo Direct. It's described as a coming-of-age adventure with an interesting gimmick in that the protagonist Nini can reset the world and loop back, allowing him and his comrades to relive the 8th month in their bid to defeat the so-called Kegai. Now to the big releases, starting with some Square titles. Various Day Life, what a name, is now available for Switch, PC and PS4. It originally launched for the Apple Arcade back in 2019. It's described as an everyday life come adventure game that's developed by the team that worked on Octopath Traveler and Bravely Default. You've got jobs, loads of types of work to build your character up in the way you want. It sounds like it's got a bit of freedom to it at the very least. Triangle Strategy, that released for the Switch recently, is now also coming to PC come October the 13th. Also, the remaster of Romancing Saga Minstrel Song is coming to PS4, 5, Switch, PC and mobile for December 2022. Now, Front Mission. We haven't heard anything on this for ages, but it seems that the first one is due out in November of this year. Front Mission 2 will be coming in 2023, and the third entry has at least seen an announcement, so they haven't forgotten about it at the very least. These are all coming to Switch. Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion will be launching on December the 13th for PS4, 5, Xbox Series, Xbox One, Switch and PC. The remastered PSP title will also have a selection of special editions available, though it looks like the West will only be getting a steelbook. The actual participating retailers haven't been announced as of yet either. An action RPG called Infinity Strash Dragon Quest The Adventure of Dai has been confirmed for a worldwide release on PS4, 5, Switch and PC. As you would have guessed, the turn-based gameplay isn't present in this spin-off, but hopefully the quality of the series will shine through regardless. Closing out the titles from Square is a sequel, and it is for Octopath Traveler 2, launching February 2023 for Switch, PS4, PS5 and PC. As of the 22nd of September, Square stated that it is 90% complete and it appears to be taking on a similar structure to the first game. A collector's edition is also available off the Square Enix store. Moving away from Square now, Ni no Kuni Wrath of the White Witch Remastered is now on Xbox Game Pass with a sequel to follow in 2023. Rune Factory 3 Special was announced as part of Nintendo Direct, it will be releasing in 2023 for Switch. There was also mentioned that a new Rune Factory series is currently in development, though an ETA hasn't been provided as of yet. One Piece Odyssey will be launching on the 13th of January 2023. Good times if you're a One Piece fan, and even if you're not, the gameplay looks pretty good. There's also a collector's edition available directly from the Bandai store with a bust similar to what we got in Tales of Arise. Next up is Vanillaware's remaster of Grim Grimoire Once More, which is coming west for PS4, 5 and Switch in spring 2023. This follows on from the Japanese announcement from a couple of months back, though it wasn't really a surprise as this did leak last month before NIS America's showcase. Next up to the pedestal is Fire Emblem Engage, which confirms the leaked images that were being thrown around from around 2 months back. And yes, the hairstyle is real. This game will be coming out in January 2023 for Switch, so sooner than I expected, but it makes sense since apparently this game has been finished for a while and was only held back by Nintendo themselves. As noted before, it indeed utilised a so-called emblem mechanic to call on characters from past games. On to Tales now, which is getting a remaster of one of the Holy Trinity. Tales of Symphonia is coming to Switch, PS4 and Xbox One for early 2023. Though I haven't played many Tales games, I do have fond memories of this one, so I'm glad it's getting some modern ports. Now this one was a welcome announcement, and it's a title I've been hoping to hear about for a while since that first teaser trailer in 2019. As part of Sony's State of Play, we finally got a look at the previously named Project Eve, now renamed to Stellar Blade. It's an action RPG that will be arriving in 2023, though unfortunately it is only a PS5 exclusive at the moment. You've got the apocalyptic world, the fast and fluid gameplay, intriguing designs. This game looks right up my alley. I just hope it will come to other platforms in the future. Next up are a few games from Ryuga Gotoku Studios. Like a Dragon 8 was announced for PS4, 5, Xbox Series, Xbox One and PC for early 2024. Like a Dragon Ishin was announced for February 2023 on PS4, 5, Series 1 and PC. And finally, Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name, has been announced for 2023 for the same platforms. This last one will follow on with Kiryu's story leading up to Like a Dragon 8 and will be about half the size of a regular title. Like a Dragon Ishin, on the other hand, is a remake of the spin-off game from 2014 and takes place in the infamous Bakumatsu era leading up to the end of the Edo period. Now if you're wondering why all of these games are called Like a Dragon now, following on from Yakuza Like a Dragon, it's because Sega have officially ditched the name of Yakuza and switched it over to Like a Dragon to be more in line with its namesake studio. Yakuza was simply used to more easily market the games when they came west in the mid-2000s, but with their current popularity there's now no need to maintain this. Either way, 3 games within 2 years, good going on them. Our penultimate game follows on from that Atelier teaser trailer, and it is for Atelier Ryza 3 Alchemist of the End and the Secret Key. It will be releasing on the 24th of February 2023 for Switch, PS4, PS5 and PC. I don't think it's any surprise that Ryza got a third game. Many of the titles recently have been in sets of 3 or even 4, and the so-called Secret series is the most successful in Gust's long-running series despite only consisting of 2 games at present. Apparently this world will be roughly 6 times the size of the first Ryza and looks to expand even further upon the improvements from the second game. In terms of limited editions, now this is interesting. If you're in the West, you can simply order it from NIS America. You get the standard fare and an art book, a B2 cloth poster, acrylic charm, similar to what we got for the previous games. However, for the Japanese side, oh boy. Credit to Noisy Pixel here for summarising it because it's a maze, but I'll try and explain it as best as I can for the laugh. Starting from the bottom, you have a normal set of goodies including the game, a booklet, OST, calendar and download codes. You can then move up to the premium box set that gives you all of that previous stuff plus the collector's edition goods that we're getting in the West. You can then move up to the special collection set, which gives you all the previous stuff plus a key case, illustrated card sets, key rings and an A1 tapestry. After that, you can push on to the so-called called Galaxy Combo Set, which gives you all that previous stuff plus a massive picture of Ryza. And then finally, if you want to part with 109,000 yen, you can purchase the Cosmo Genesis Combo Set, which comes with all the previous stuff, plus the Everyday Me Sophie figure, including the extras that we mentioned before, and the special bonus box set for the first 2 games. And you know what? I think some people will buy that final set. It would not surprise me. Either way, another Atelier game is always a plus from me. Finally, we mentioned that Konami had renewed the license for Suikoden in the build up to the Tokyo Game Show, and there was a big reason for that. It's because they were due to announce a HD remaster for both Suikoden 1 and 2 for PS4, Xbox One, Switch and PC, due out in 2023. Now I can't pretend to know much about Suikoden because I have not played the games, never had the chance to, but I know how highly people regard them. So now that they're coming to modern platforms, I can't wait to try them out. And we've got Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes on the way on the same year, so good times for fans of the games. And that is it guys, your September JRPG news roundup is complete. Please leave a like and subscribe for more JRPG content and I'll see you next week. Peace.